Shooting Nirnayakam was one of the most fun things I've done, and that's mainly because of the director VK Prakash. He's completely cracked. He'd keep us laughing and joking all the time. It was great working with Asif, and Bobby and Sanju I'm huge fans of ever since I saw Traffic, so I was looking for an opportunity to work with these writers. I'm glad I got it finally. I am really looking forward to this film releasing because it's a film that the whole family can enjoy, and they're going to come back and discuss this over dinner and maybe over breakfast next morning as well. I'm Tisca Chopra from Team Nirnayakam. Use makeup if you must, but don't cover your true self. You're beautiful as you are. Hello. Hi everyone. I'm here on Facebook in the beautiful Facebook headquarters from Mumbai, ready to talk to all of you guys. So whatever questions you have, whether they're sane, insane, logical, illogical, whatever, shoot. I'm going to try and be as honest as possible here.
Tell us a bit about Chutney.
Well, Chutney is this short film that I've co-written and produced, and you guys have really liked it. 17.5 million of you and 1 million on FB. So it's unexpected because it's the first time writing and producing, and it's quite thrilling actually. Thank you all of you.
Vishal Zender says, awesome short film.
Thank you.
And Sanjay Chawla saying hello.
Hello, Sanjay.
And Arijit asks you, how are you?
Arijit, I'm very well. Thank you. How are you?
And then Rahul Rawat and Tanvi Kulkarni asks you, where did you get the idea of Chutney?
Chutney was a short story that I used to perform many years ago by one of India's very famous writers. And then that story started growing in my head. And it grew to the point that it developed its own legs and feet and eyes and features and became quite different. And then I sat with Jyoti Kapoor Das, the director of Chutney, and wrote it. So that's how the idea came.
Kishan Gohel asks, what is your favorite hobby and who is your ideal?
Favorite hobby? I'm not sure I like the word hobby per se, because as actors and artists, our hobby is our profession. So in that sense, acting is my hobby and my job. Writing is also now partly my job and my hobby. And I love cooking, and I love stitching and also painting. Sorry, I didn't mean that. That's a joke.
So there's Dhiman Roy. He's asking, what inspired you to take up this short film?
Thank you, Dhiman. Actually, Imtiaz Ali, who's the director of Rockstar and Tamasha, is a dear friend. And we were just sitting and chatting one day, and he said, you should make a short film, just randomly like that. And I said, okay, let's do it. Sure, good idea.
Then there's Krishna asking, ma'am, release Chutney Part 2, because we really want to know what happened in Chutney.
Krishna?
Yes.
Hi, Krishna. I don't think it's a part 2. I don't think there is a part 2. I think it's quite complete in the way it is. Yes, of course, lots of people are asking what the hell happened to Bhola's wife and what happened to the brother-in-law, and was it a story or did it really happen? So these are things which we've deliberately left as gaps so that you can guess. Though we have some ideas, and if someone wants to know, we can discuss that as well.
Soem Sarkar is asking, what is your favorite dish?
Anything with chutney.
And there's Debashish Burman saying, love you, ma'am. First time watching you live, what an opportunity. Your evergreen beauty, classy attire, and natural appearances on screen is fabulous.
Dude, Debashish, thank you so much. That's a lot to take face to face. Thank you.
There's Abhishek Jain asking, your next Bollywood movie?
Well, I don't know which one is going to release first. There's a beautiful one which I've just finished called The Bioscope Wala. That may release first. Or then there's another one called Three Dev. Or then the feature that we're working on ourselves.
There's Jagrit asking, who's your best co-actor you have worked with?
Jagrit, that's very difficult because when you're doing a particular piece of work, you're so into that person and those people, all your co-actors at that point, that at that time those people are your favorite co-actors, and then when you move to the next film, it's a happy memory of the people you've been with in the past, and now the people you're working with now are your favorites. So I think that's just a different way of working, I guess, because we have to change everything with every film. So it's very difficult to sort of stay in your head with the same people. You move on to different people, and but who I'd like it to be is Meryl Streep, Johnny Depp, Matt Damon. Yeah, those are the guys I like.
There's Amrit Kumar asking, why did you decide to take up the glam role?
I decided to take up the role. There was no question of glam, de-glam, super glam. It's the person. That's what in my head she looked like. She had these ugly teeth, and that's what she was. And she had bad skin, and she was a. This film should be called The Revenge of the Geeks.
There's Sumit Upadhyay asking, is it depressing to live an actor's life because one can't be successful every time? How do you deal with ups and downs?
Sumit, hi. That's a good question. Unusual question as well. It's not depressing. I mean, if you have depression as a disease, which we all know it's a disease, if you have a depressive disease, a disease called depression, then you would be depressed. The highs and lows can be difficult to deal with because, one day everything is hunky-dory and the next day it just all collapses on you. But those of us who have stable friends and families, I think they stay all right because, your friends will always tell you, like, listen, chill, it's just a film, get over yourself, and they just stay normal with you. And parents, I think parents, family, they just keep you very straight and normal and stop you from getting into this like sense of up and down, hot and cold that your life is. So thank you for that question, Sumi.
There's Naresh Parekh saying, how are you? You're one of the talented actresses in Bollywood. You're one of the most talented actresses in Bollywood.
Thank you so much. I don't even think I'm exactly in Bollywood, but sure.
There's Shom Shubhra Sarkar saying, ma'am, which role till date would you rate as your best?
Shom, I don't know. I think the one to come. Because of the ones that I've done, I think the most famous was Tare Zameen Par. But I've enjoyed doing Chutney the most because that was last and new. I'm looking forward to the next one, which is also again another slightly insane character. I think you guys are going to enjoy the next character. We're already writing it, so I think that one will be my favorite.
And then there's Rizwan asking, are you planning to come to Calcutta? Your film Chutney is excellent.
Rizwan, hi, I'd love to come to Kolkata. I love so many things. I actually spent about like 10, 11 months. My dad was principal at the APJ school on Park Street, and we grew up at the Park Hotel. We were staying there for a long time. So I love Kolkata. So I'd love to come.
That is Gaurav asking you, what do you see the most in a script before accepting a movie?
Hi Gaurav. I think the story. For me, the story is always the hero, and then I really like to gel with the director. I'm completely a director's actor. So if the director's good and has a bond with me where, because I think the relationship between an actor and a director is like that of a pipe and a tap. There should be no leakage. Whatever emotion the director wants you to express should be able to, as a tap, you should be able to bring it out from within you. So there should be no gaps. There should be almost like one soul for a while at least. So I'm very, very close to my directors, at least during the shooting.
Arijit wants to know, would you be interested in working in a Bengali movie?
Arijit, are you producing? Yes? Tell me. Is he writing? Right. Tell me, are you producing?
And then there's Akshay Sagar saying, please do say hi. You're one of the biggest fans around the world. Loved your movies like Tare Zameen Par.
Thank you, Akshay.
And
how has your transition from an actor to a producer been?
From an actor to a producer, it's actually the producer to majburi mein banna pada. because कोई और बना नहीं रहा था तो हमको खुद ही करना पड़ा. But so I don't think there's a transition in that sense. I had to do a lot of mathematics, which I'm really, really, really bad at. But I had to get on with it. Otherwise, it was fun. It was fun. You get to play like boss lady. You can be like, I'm saying so, get it done. I'm kidding.
Sumit is asking, given a chance, what kind of Hollywood movie would you like to act in?
Oh yeah, that's an easy one. Avatar, Interstellar, As Good as It Gets, Juno, these kinds. Sideways, that kind of film.
There's Hashmi asking, which one is your most favorite Bollywood Khan?
My most favorite Khan is the one who works with me in his next film. That would be my most favorite Khan.
There's Rahul Rawat asking, who suggested the name Chutney?
Actually, it kind of came up by itself. You know, it just popped up when Jyoti, the director, and I were sitting and writing it. The idea behind that was a little interesting, which I'd like to get into. That if I've got someone working for me, then मैं उसकी चटनी बनाऊंगी, and somebody who's employing me वो मेरी चटनी बनाएंगे. And so anyone who can manipulate someone else and they're in a position of power, they will take advantage of the other person. And in that sense, there's a chutney made continuously of various levels. हमसे जो नीचे होता है हम उसकी चटनी बनाते रहते हैं. So that's how I think that was one of the themes that we wanted to talk about in Chutney.
There's a very nice question. Arijit Samandar asking, do you like biryani?
Yeah, well, sure, it's too many carbs, but yeah, sure, I like it. I'm largely vegetarian, so I can't have the chicken or mutton biryani. Yeah, fish biryani I could have.
There's Neha Rawat asking your upcoming projects.
So the first film that should be coming out is either Bioscope Wala or 3 Dev, and working on another one now, which is end of the year. I'll be in Delhi shooting for a film. So that one.
There is Puneet asking, what is your thought on Mr. Modi and demonetization?
Ah, that's a good question. I'm a very big Modi fan for a few reasons. One of the reasons is that I think we needed a very strong leader in the country. We've had a bunch of weak-willed, weak-kneed people at the head. I think Mr. Modi is somebody who's got vision and he's got determination. And I think we should allow him to do what he's doing and see what he's saying. He's got a plan in mind. Let's see what he's able to do and give him time to accomplish that. So I'm with him, absolutely. And demonetization, a good move overall, could have been a little bit more planned in terms of currency. I don't like to see the common man suffer, but overall it's a great move. Very, very good move.
Rizwan is asking, do you have any vacation planned this year?
No, actually, I'll be working over Christmas and New Year and in a very, very tough role. So I'm actually like very anxious. I'm working with two of India's best actors and very nervous actually.
There's Ankit Sharma asking, ma'am, your new movie.
Ankit, hi, I've answered that question already, but it's either Bioscope Wala or 3 Dev, one of those two.
And there's Shweta asking, what's your name's meaning?
Oh, this question always comes. Shweta, once and for all, my name means a river, and by now I think it's also dried up, but still my name means a river. It's a Czech river, I think, called Tisca. However, there's another interesting story. When I was very small, my parents had named me Tisca, and when this little girl would be asked, "Bete, aapka naam kya hai?" I would say, "Uncle Tisca," and they would say, "Aapka," and I would say Tisca, and they would say, "Bete, aapka," and I would look at them and think. So everyone always thought I was saying Kiska. So it's a difficult name to have grown up with.
Aditya is asking, how do you tackle failure?
Good question, Aditya. Very good question. The same way as you would handle success. Don't react. Just continue doing what you're doing. How does it matter anyway?
There's Mrinal asking, what's your take on commercial cinema?
If it comes, take it. That's my take.
Rahul wants to know who was your makeup artist in Chutney.
Good question. Complicated answer. Uh, because we had no budget, we had Vikram Gaikwad, who's one of India's leading makeup artists, sort of helped me design the look. He suggested certain things, I put in certain things, so we put the look together. But the execution in Delhi was done by me. So actually doing it on set was, it's not so complicated. I can look quite ugly without makeup. So it was not so hard.
There's Mohammed asking, who was your inspiration?
Mohammed, for what? You're asking who was my inspiration for what? In general or in particular to something?
And then Mrinal asking, don't we need more stronger story-based films in Bollywood?
I agree. We need far stronger stories. We need more time taken to write scripts. And less projects made and more authentic stories made.
Mohit Raj is asking, any dream role or director?
Many. What do you mean any? Mohit. Many dream roles. I want to do a spy thriller. I want to do a war film. I want to do a love story, like a really deep, meaningful love story. I want to do so many things, so many stories. I want to do a poetess like Amrita Pritam. I want to do Amrita Shergill. I want to do Sarojini Naidu, Indira Gandhi. So many biopics, so many stories possible.
Mohammed has come back to us and saying, who was your inspiration for becoming an actress?
Oh, who was my inspiration, Mohammed? I don't think there was any in my family. There's nobody who's ever acted. I mean, not professionally anyway. वैसे life में बहुत acting करते हैं, but nobody acts professionally. So I think it just came from inside. Because I think I'm shy. I find it easier to be somebody else than to be myself. Does that answer your question, Mom? I'm sorry.
Nitesh says that he would like to see more of you in cinema on TV. So he's asking you to go for more movies.
Nitesh, thank you. That's very sweet. I will try and work as much as I can.
There's Jelly Khurana asking, would you do a Punjabi movie any day? Punjabis would love to see you in a Punjabi movie.
Hi, Jelly. Hi. What a lovely name. Yeah, sure. I'd love to do a film in any language. The story should be very good and the role should be good.
There is Pranay who wants to know which is your favorite book and which book do you recommend anybody to read?
Interesting question. Favorite book? There's so many hundreds and thousands of favorite books. And I don't want to give a sort of cliched answer because different things are favorites over different periods of time. But maybe take 2-3 names. So I like this book called Heidi, which is a kid's book, which I read with my daughter very often. It's a story of a young girl who was born in the mountains. That was one of my early favorites. Then as I grew older, I loved Gone with the Wind. Every girl loves Gone with the Wind. So that's fine. Then there's a beautiful book called Buddha in Daily Life, which is by a gentleman called Richard Costin, which is a very strong philosophical basis for one's life. That's another favorite. Right now I'm reading a book called Sapiens, which is us as Homo sapiens, our life, our inside life. So that's another one that I'm reading. So
Shweta wants to know who is your best buddy in the industry?
Shweta. Best buddy in the industry, many buddies. Many buddies. Many people actually. Vipul D. Shah of Optimistics is a dear friend. Shweta Kawatra, Manav Gohil, Surveen Chawla, Imtiaz, Shakun Batra. Many friends. There's not one buddy, there's many buddies.
There's Stanley asking, why don't you do a Tamil movie?
Stanley, hi, I'd love to. Nalla irka Tamil film. Rumba nalla irka.
There's Tarun Jain saying, अब हमको क्या पता, हम तो गाजियाबाद से है ना? Can you say the dialogue?
That's going to crack me up. Oh God. I should have got my teeth. Oh damn, I forgot to get my teeth. Asha. अब हमको क्या पता? हम तो गाजियाबाद से हैं.
There's Mohammed asking how was it like doing your role like Rahasya?
Rahasya was fab. So I was not supposed to do that role. I was supposed to do the other role, which is the role that Meeta Vashisht then played, a very talented actress. But I was after Manish to give me this role because I thought ये वाला मैंने पहले नहीं किया, and luckily for me it worked.
There's Kishan asking, do you like traveling? What is your best traveling place?
Kishan, my husband's a pilot. I have no choice but to travel. So my best traveling place is yet to come. This year, 2017, I'm planning to go to Madrid and Venice. And also, I really want to go to the Dead Sea. That's something I want to really go to because I want to lie down in the Dead Sea and see how you float on water. And then I want to go to Machu Picchu. And I want to go see the Northern Lights. Next year is the only year you'll see Northern Lights, and then you won't see them for 10 years. So I want to go there for sure. So these are a few things I want to do. So yeah, I like traveling very much.
Aditya wants to know who is your favorite Bollywood actor.
Favorite Bollywood actor? Sanjeev Kumar, actually, was my favorite Bollywood actor, is my favorite Bollywood actor, because I think he was just so amazingly, I don't know the word for it, there's something so magical about him. He could just transform. So yeah.
There's Muhammad Hamza saying, sing Rab Rakha.
Thank you, Hamza.
There's Yogesh asking, what is coming for us during 2017?
Well, hopefully my own feature film production, which I'm very keen on. It's a very interesting, different story, and I think आप लोगों को अच्छी लगेगी. Dark, very comic, and something that'll make you laugh and cry at the same time.
There is HK Sadwani asking, are you penning down any story which you would act in?
Yes. I am. And actually, that's the one I'm talking about. That it's a dark kind of a comedy. Will make you laugh and cry.
What is your take on struggle? Nishant is asking.
I mean, if you can avoid a struggle, then dude, you're made. But everyone struggles. That is the truth of life. You will struggle, I will struggle. Someone will struggle with their love life. Someone will struggle with finances. Someone will struggle with work. Someone will struggle with health. That's life. There's nobody without a struggle. No matter how much they look like they're not struggling, they're struggling with something. Just that you may not see it.
Neera Dhawan says, you're gorgeous.
And that's a girl.
Yeah.
Darling, I love you. Thank you.
Then there's Muhammad again asking, is there a role which you wish you could have done in place of the actual actress?
Every role. There isn't a single role that I don't think, yaar, mere ko mil jata, ye main kar leti. Every single role, including child actors. And guys also.
There's Faisal asking, who made this coffee which is in your hand?
It's actually tea. And it's been made by the wonderful people at Facebook. Cheers to FB.
There's Meenakshi Sharma asking, Tisca, any guidance for children, especially girls who are interested in acting? After schooling, how should they start?
Oh, what a lovely, lovely question. So my own daughter's nearly 4 years old, and yesterday we took her to see a play, Rapunzel. I think expose your children to everything. Music and drama and literature and sports and all sorts of things. And then whatever they like, they can pick that. So definitely in school or, theatre workshops or public speaking, those are very good things to get your kids to do. It's amazing. And I think kids, even if they do nothing out of it, their self-confidence and sense of being able to actually talk and will help whatever kind of job they do to be able to present themselves well and confidently and communicate clearly. Theatre does that to you.
Yes, and there's somebody asking, what do you think about Buddhism?
Hello, somebody.
The comment just
Flew.
yeah.
Okay. I think it's a very fine philosophy of life, and I'm very much a practicing Buddhist. At least I like to think I am. I make many mistakes in my behavior as a human being. I give in to anger or fear or other things. I wish that I didn't, but then I also learn to forgive myself so I can move on. And I may make new mistakes, sometimes I repeat old ones, but at least I try and keep a check to see that am I generally moving in a better direction, or am I still getting stuck on old things. So I think Buddhism is really a valuable, like a sort of dipstick to check how you're doing as a human being. So I value it very much. It's a very, very sound and beautiful philosophy. Having said that, I'm not into isms, because the minute you put an ism, there's money which gets attached, there's power equations which come in, there's a lot of things. So I would rather say that, you know, it's the science of your own life. It's a sort of makes you spiritual rather than religious, which is key.
There's Abhinav Sharma asking, ma'am, writing is easy or acting?
Neither. I find them both very tough. I work very hard. I work very, very, very hard, both at acting and at writing. It doesn't come easy to me at all. And I'm not a natural actor, in the sense natural born actor. So for me, it's been, I'm quite shy and inhibited, and, you know, don't want to expose myself to people. I want to like be by my own self. Yeah, so it's none of them is easy.
Mohit Raj has a very interesting question. He wants to know, do you believe in God?
Mohit, that's a really good question. No, I don't believe in God. I believe in the divinity in human beings. I believe that if there is any kind of a divine power, it exists in our fellow beings and in living things around us. And undermining or paining or troubling people around you, or not seeing the potential of other people, is not seeing God.
Stanley would like to know, what is your favorite movie in Indian cinema?
Many. There's many favorite movies. I think a lot of films by Amir Khan are my favorite. I really like Lagan. I like Dil Chahta Hai. I've loved Shujit Sarkar's work particularly. I've loved Khosla Ka Ghosla, loved Queen, many films actually. And now much better films are happening. I think the scripts are becoming kind of back to the magic of making films. Guys, I think we're coming to an end. I'm told that the session is to finish. It was lovely chatting with all of you. Maybe we'll do another session if there's more questions coming up, or you can write in and I'll try and reply. But thank you all. Wonderful questions, and thank you so much for loving Chutney. If you haven't seen it already, go see it. It's Chutney the film. It's everywhere. See it.